To this now, several countries are monitoring an outbreak of human metapneumo-virus, which is center alarm bells are ringing globally, commonly known as hMPV. The respiratory virus represents with flu-like symptoms and is spreading rapidly in China. For more on this, I'm joined by Professor Tulio De Oliveira, Director of the Center for Epidemic Response and Innovation at Stellenbosch University. A very good afternoon to you, Prof. Thanks very much for your time. Apparently, this is not a new virus at all.
Yeah. First, good afternoon, Vuyo, and good afternoon to all your viewers. Yes, as you highlight, the human metapneumo-virus, is not a new virus. This virus have been discovered in 2001 in the Netherlands. But the origins, when they trace, is a virus that is circulating in the human population since the 1950s. Yes, so what we have a virus that is known to cause common cold, that seems to have resurgence again, and is causing a winter wave of infection in China. But the winter wave of infection in China, if you look at the Chinese CDC, they highlight that once the first is not bigger or more severe than the previous winter wave of infections. And in addition of the human metapneumovirus, this wave also have another 3 viruses. That the first one is what you call the respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV. That's another virus that tends to affect very young children, influenza, and COVID. So unfortunately, what is happening is that the winter wave of infections of respiratory pathogens now around the world is caused not by only 1 or 2, but 3 or 4 different viruses, and sometimes at certain weeks tend to overwhelm the healthcare facilities. But to the best of our knowledge, and for many experts in the world, we do not risk any kind of global pandemic from this virus, the human metapneumovirus, because there is a lot of immunity in the population, given that this virus is circulating for decades and normally tend to cause not severe disease.
No global risk, you say, Prof, and the illness is typically mild. But I think what scares or may scare certain people is the fact that it can lead to severe complications such as pneumonia, especially to vulnerable groups like your elderly and people with weakened immune systems.
Yes, but just to highlight to your viewers that unfortunately that's true with all other respiratory pathogens, such as flu, still with COVID, or RSV. It tends from very young children or very elderly people to cause more severe disease, but that's not more than what's estimating. Just for example, it's not only China that have a severe wave of respiratory infection. Another country that's much more familiar to South Africa, the United Kingdom and England, this week it's hitting the peak of the flu season, and have close to 6,000 people hospitalized. Similar, it's been caused a respiratory infection from 4 different viruses, which now this week it give a new name, what we are beginning to call that the quademic, epidemics that are caused by multiple viruses. And why is that happening? Is because we have winters are getting more severe, with global change, but also vaccination across viruses that a vaccine exists, such as RSV, influenza, and COVID, it is decreasing. So what we are happening is that now more people is presenting sick, but that's not the same level of a pandemic. It's just that means that countries have to prepare better for the winter wave, They have to have good surveillance system, which South Africa has one of the best in the world, and try to really vaccinate the elderly and very young children for this virus before the winter wave, so hospitals do not get overwhelmed.
That's exactly where I was going, Prof, to say, okay, you're saying people mustn't, there's not much to worry about, but to someone who says, okay, I hear that, but how do I prevent myself? I just don't want to be in danger.
Okay, thank you. So for example, one of the virus that's causing the respiratory infections in China and in the UK, the RSV, yeah, it is a virus that normally the wave in South Africa is starting the first week of February, yeah. Why that? Because that's normally with young children, and as people go back to school, children go back to school, yeah. And one good suggestions, yeah, it is people that develop a cold-like symptoms, yeah, to try to avoid going to the school or spreading first. Just the common sense of like, if you have a respiratory infection, avoid crowded spaces, yeah, try to be at home and have the normal things of hydration, and control fever before it's spreading to others. So that's one thing that we can do, especially after we finish a very busy holiday season that people mingle a lot, yeah. So anyone that develop symptoms of a respiratory infection, try to avoid to transmit to more people. And for people that are with advanced age, yeah, try to think about getting the flu vaccination. Normally it's very efficient, yeah, to avoid the hospitalization. So that's the main thing that we can do as South Africa return from holiday and start the school season before we are also hit by our traditional respiratory infections in the winter months.
Professor De Oliveira, thank you very much for your time and insights. Really helps us. Thank you very much. He's, of course, the Director of the Center for Epidemic Response and Innovation at Stellenbosch University.